Right now on OU Nightly, strong storms hit hard east of Oklahoma. Our meteorologists track the damage. Plus, dry weather here means more wildfires are flaring and where you can tiptoe through the tulips this spring. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Olivia Dague.
And I'm Dacoda McDowell-Wahpekeche. We begin tonight with another round of deadly tornadoes overnight. 4 people are dead and several others injured after a destructive storm system hit much of the central United States. At least 10 reported tornadoes touched down in parts of Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, and Michigan. CNN's Laura Aguirre brings us more as residents get their first look at the damage.
Bollinger County, Missouri, hit by a deadly storm in the early morning hours Wednesday. The number of fatalities could rise in the coming hours, as state highway police there say search and rescue efforts continue. This savage storm system, threatening about 60 million Americans, is moving east after battering parts of Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, and Michigan.
Oh my God!
Kelowna, Illinois, still assessing major damage after being hit by at least one of 7 reported tornadoes to roar through that state Tuesday.
I mean, we're lucky. I don't know. I look at all this and I'm just like amazed.
We're just hoping that it gets by us and we don't have no more damage, but that's what we're praying for now.
Oh, she is a beauty. Oh my God.
In neighboring Iowa, tornadoes like this one in Pleasantville Tuesday weren't the only continuing weather threat. Hail the size of baseballs or even larger reported here and in several cities across the Midwest. To the south, more hail and tornado watches in effect for parts of Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, including Little Rock, heavily damaged in last week's severe storms. The National Weather Service warns everyone in the affected central and southern regions to heed all severe weather advisories through Wednesday. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
That affected area also includes parts of Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio. The best way to help storm victims is to make a donation through the American Red Cross.
OU Nightly meteorologists work and learn at the university's South Campus, where the National Weather Center and Storm Prediction Center are located. Now our own Lauren Brand is back in Norman after being in Arkansas when a tornado hit over the weekend. Lauren, your group even helped rescue a woman trapped under debris.
Yeah, guys, that's right. I was on my way home to Georgia, and we passed through Wynne, Arkansas. Now, this footage is from a video that I took in Wynne, and we were trying to actually get out of the area when somebody in the area actually flagged us down, saying that there was somebody trapped underneath the house. This is a video that I took of that house, and this is a picture of that house, and you can just see it is completely demolished. Luckily, that lady was okay. We were able to get first responders into the area to help rescue that lady, and everybody in the area, as far as we know, was okay in that area. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Lauren. Now, huge temperature swings in our state. Now, here in Norman, we saw 80 degrees yesterday. This morning, much colder in those 40-degree temperatures.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to toss it over to meteorologist Dylan Strilko. Dylan, what caused that extreme swing?
Yeah, guys, we were talking about that powerful storm system that moved across the United States. With that storm system came a cold front. So we went from 80-degree temperatures, you're seeing 50s across the metro, and that's across the entire state of Oklahoma and a lot of states as well that were affected by this storm system. Now, the good thing is we are going to be seeing fairly above average temperatures in the next 6 to 10 days when this storm system moves out of here. So we could be seeing some temperatures in the 80s, possibly reaching the 90s in parts of Oklahoma and Texas as well. Now coming up in main weather, we're going to be talking about those cooler temperatures. They're not going to be sticking around for long because we've got an unseasonable warm up and that Easter Sunday forecast coming up. Back to you.
Thanks, Dylan. Wildfires are still spreading across Oklahoma. Here's a video from our partners at News 9. Earlier this afternoon, firefighters were responding and putting out grass fires in Chickasha, just south of Alex, Oklahoma, near County Roads 1530 and 2875.
Now, legislation that would increase school security passes out of a House committee today. Senate Bill 428 would require school districts to install security alert systems that automatically connect 911 and district personnel if passed. The bill will go into effect in July, and the bill will now be sent to the House floor.
East Norman residents chose who will represent them on City Council. Newly elected Councilman Michael Nash beat incumbent Richard Tortorello to represent Ward 5. Ward 5 falls into the path of the Oklahoma Turnpike expansion plan, and both candidates stand against OTA, leading to a tight runoff race. Annette Price has defeated Kathleen Kennedy with over half of the votes for the number 3 office of the Norman School Board. Price will begin her 5-year term starting on Monday.
More legal trouble for former President Donald Trump, this time for his actions during the January 6th insurrection. OU Nightly's Purpura has that and the rest of today's national headlines in the News Center.
Yeah, Olivia, Dacoda, the former President Donald Trump is now facing new developments in a case involving the January 6th insurrection just one day after receiving criminal charges in a separate case. Trump's former vice, Mike Pence, is going to testify under oath about their conversations leading up to the attack. This is the first time Pence is complying with this kind of subpoena. The day Pence will testify is not yet known. Prices are dropping for the material in your phone, laptop, and even electric car batteries. Lithium is down more than 30% this year, meaning products that use rechargeable lithium batteries could get cheaper too. But manufacturers say that could be bad for business. Ford says it expects to lose about $3 billion on its electric car business this year. Restrictions may tighten on coal manufacturers in the U.S. The Biden administration is calling for fewer pollutants from coal plants released back into the environment. They also want the EPA to have real-time data on pollutants as they're released. Currently, businesses are operating under temporary Obama-era regulations. Proposed restrictions would be a permanent change. And the president of Taiwan paid a visit to California today and met with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Olivia, Dacoda.
Thanks, Pepper. Spring is here and Oklahoma City is celebrating. OU Nightly reporter Bailey Coyle is live at the Myriad Botanical Garden with the details. Bailey.
There's 30,000 tulips in full bloom here at the Millard Botanical Garden. And right behind me is just a handful of those beautiful flowers. And it's all part of a special festival to celebrate a new season starting. The birds are singing, the Oklahoma wind is howling, and flowers are blooming. Spring is here.
Everything's blooming, turning green again, becoming colorful. Everybody's getting outside, moving their bodies.
To celebrate the end of winter, the Millard Botanical Gardens in Oklahoma City is hosting their first annual Tulip Festival.
Full celebration of spring and kind of what that means for people and communities kind of coming back to life from your winter slumber.
The festival will feature live music, food, and of course, tulips.
So we'll have 2 stages with music going, one on the Seasonal Plaza and one on the Devon Lawn. And then as far as food goes, we will have everything from hot dogs, hamburgers, barbecue. We'll have Asian food, snow cones, popsicles, popcorn, really anything for anybody.
Admission to the event is free, but they will be accepting donations.
We have donor levels anywhere from $5 to $50, and that can get you a ticket into our newly renovated Crystal Bridge or a t-shirt, or we have some special commemorative buttons.
The tulip season is very unpredictable because of weather, so this weekend will be the last weekend to see the bright colored flowers.
We hope that we have a lot of community members come out and celebrate that with their friends and family and just enjoy being outdoors.
And if you want to come see these beautiful flowers for yourself, the festival will be Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the Botanical Garden says that seating will be limited, so be sure to bring your own blanket or chair. Reporting live in Oklahoma City, Bailey Coyle, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Bailey. Now, earlier, we talked about tornadoes hitting Arkansas, but all across the U.S., we're seeing more historic weather events than any other country.
When we come back, weather expert Eli Millard tells us why.
And looking out to our campus cam, we've got some clear skies.
And the temperatures are right now in the high 50s. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Earlier, we brought you coverage of the tornadoes in Arkansas, but other weather events have been plaguing Americans across the country. Meteorologist Eli Millard is here to talk about why this is happening in Earth Report. Eli, what can you tell us?
Yeah, this year a considerable amount of weather events have affected the United States. Historic snowfall in Yosemite, atmospheric rivers in California, and multiple tornado outbreaks in the deep south and the Midwest. But there is no real mystery on why the United States leads the world in weather catastrophes. So what exactly is that reason? Well, the reason is really the blame is our geography. There is no other place on planet Earth that has the combination of geographical features that we have in the United States. So we have the Pacific Ocean out to our west, the Atlantic Ocean off towards our east, and here we have the Gulf of Mexico and the Rocky Mountains. So in our typical spring pattern, we bring this moisture up from the Gulf of Mexico, and then dry and colder air from the Rockies, and then the jet stream overhead really mixes that all together. And then we have that storm system that, like the last couple of weeks, we've seen those tornado outbreaks. But as we transition into the summer pattern, a more active pattern moves off towards our east. This kind of transitions more into hurricane season. And then the heat dome moves in overhead, the dreaded heat dome, where we see all those dry conditions, droughts, under that higher pressure. So that really is the reason why we see so many weather catastrophes here in the United States. Dacoda, Olivia, back to you.
Thanks, Eli. OU students are teaming up with the center in Norman to prove that dance is for everyone.
More about this inclusive dance class when OU Nightly returns. And a potential for freezing temperatures tomorrow.
Dylan Strilko is coming up after the break with your full forecast. Dylan?
Yes, we are going to have more about those possible freezing temperatures. We're going to be talking more about a big warm-up coming up. Welcome back to OU Nightly. We're looking at that South Oval right now. Beautiful blue skies, but a different story on the temperature today. So only 55 degrees. Yesterday was about 85, so it's about 30 degrees cooler than it was yesterday. That's because we had a cold front go through. Now let's look at the metro. 57 up there in Oklahoma City. Up north in Guthrie, 57 as well. Out west, 56 in Weatherford. So staying pretty consistent with the temperatures today. And as we look at the state, a little bit warmer, 61 in Ardmore, 59 out there in Elk City, and 51 out there in Guyman. But like I said, temperatures nearly 30 degrees different than when they were yesterday, so lower different-wise. So 21 degrees lower than it was yesterday here in Norman. Out west, 28 degrees of a difference than it was yesterday. But let's take a look at that live radar. So pretty clear day. As you could see when we were looking at the South Oval, no clouds. But as we were talking about those severe storms out there in Arkansas, they're getting hit with another round today. Now, as we look at tonight's forecast, we're going to be cooling down from the 50s into the 40s, 47 degrees by midnight. And then tomorrow, we have a potential for some freezing temperatures out in the western half of the state. Now, here in central and eastern Oklahoma, we're not really expecting any freezing temperatures. Now, tomorrow, we're going to be getting a little bit warmer, 61 here in Norman, 66 down there in Ardmore. But we have a big warm-up coming up for the next 6 to 10 days. Above average temperatures for much of the U.S. We could be seeing anywhere from 70 to 90 degree temperatures here in Oklahoma, Texas, even parts of Kansas, Missouri, and Arkansas as well. Now, with these temperatures comes that allergy report. So tree pollen is pretty high today. Grass is a little bit medium. Now, we're not really worried about the weed pollen and the mold, but we are mostly worried about that tree pollen. So if you're feeling stuffy today, this is probably why. Now, as we go into your 7-day forecast, we are seeing that warming trend continuing into the weekend. By Easter Sunday, hitting 74 degrees. And then we're going to be warming up, as you can see, by Monday, 77, reaching 80 by Tuesday. But as you can see, no precipitation for the next 7 days. So it's going to be a beautiful weekend and a beautiful next week as well. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Dylan. OU Dance and the County Wellness Center are teaming up for an inclusive dance class. Dance for Parkinson's is hosted every Thursday morning for those who are mobility impaired as well as their caregivers. OU Dance guides the class while the Well provides an all-accessible environment. Kate Cooper with the Wellness Center says when OU Dance reached out, they could not pass up the opportunity.
He reached out within a month or two. We were able to come to an agreement about using the location here at the Well. There's plenty of parking, and we are looking to add more disability-friendly classes all the time, so it was a perfect fit for us.
If you're interested in registering for the event, you can visit thewell.ok.gov.
Well, a couple of Sooners from the men's basketball team are hoping to hear their name called in this year's NBA draft.
And the Thunder remain in a tight playoff race. OU Nightly Sports' Parker Abels has the details. Parker?
Yeah, when we come back, I'll tell you what the Thunder need to do to stay in the play-in race. And more OU men's basketball players are leaving Norman. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome into OU Nightly Sports. I'm Parker Abels. Well, another day means another departure for OU men's basketball. Sooners starting point guard Grant Sherfield has declared for the NBA draft. Sherfield led the Sooners in scoring this season, averaging 15.2 points per game and in assists with 3.2. Jalen Hill also announced his intentions to enter the NBA draft, but he will keep his eligibility. And Sooner forward Jacob Groves just announced on social media that he is entering the transfer portal. Tuesday night, the Thunder visited the Golden State Warriors, but it did not go their way, falling 136 to 125. Now, with just 2 games left in the regular season for OKC, they sit just a half a game above the Mavericks, and they need 2 of these 5 results to happen in order to secure the 10th play-in spot. If the Thunder and Mavericks tie, OKC has a tiebreaker and will get into the play-in.
I know who we play our next 2 games. I don't know what their next 2 look like or what their record is, honestly. I'm just trying to get the next basketball game. Super important for us, especially being younger and undersized. We're more physical. When we bring the fight to teams, we're for sure a better team.
Former Sooner and current Laker guard Austin Reeves just got his own shoe called the AR1. Rigorer announced the shoe will be released this summer. Sooner golfer Ben Lorenz has been named Big 12 Golfer of the Month for his stellar play in March. The junior got his first career win, taking the Goodwin title and placing 10th in the men's NIT. He's the 10th Sooner in Big 12 to win Big 12 Golfer of the Month in the Ryan Heibel era. Tuesday, the Sooner baseball team traveled to Tulsa to take on the ORU Golden Eagles. And in the 5th, they got it going with this 2-run single by Rocco Garza Gongora. Then Kendall Pettis hits a 2-run double to help OU go up 9-1, and they would take the midweek matchup 12-2. And tomorrow, the first-ranked Sooner softball team is staying home for a weekend series with the Texas Tech Red Raiders at Marita Hines Field. They will play tomorrow and Friday at 6 p.m. and then Saturday at 1. And some news out of OU wrestling today. Lou Rosselli has resigned as head coach. Rosselli was hired in 2016 and led the Sooners to a 56-49 dual record in those 7 seasons. OU's athletic director Joe Castiglione said the search for a new head coach will begin immediately. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Parker. The end of the semester is right around the corner, and with finals, we know some students are stressing.
Yeah, that's right, Dacoda. When we come back, we'll tell you how one group on campus is helping relieve students. Stay tuned. OU Class Council is helping students de-stress as the semester comes to a close. Class Council hosts events that offer ways for students to meet new people, relax, and step away from classes. Their first event was today in the Union Courtyard, a free painting contest along with complimentary pizza and coffee.
2024 Class Council Vice Chair Jada Harvey knows the struggles of a long school year and is joyful to offer students a break.
Now, meteorologist Dylan Strilko is giving us one last check on the forecast.
Dylan, what do you got for us?
Well, let's talk about tonight. So these temperatures are going to be coming out of the 50s and they're going to be coming into the 40s. Now, for here in Norman, we're not expecting freezing temperatures, but parts of western Oklahoma, they could be seeing some below freezing temperatures. Now, look at your next 7 days. We're going to be seeing this continual warming trend even into the weekend, especially for Easter Sunday, beautiful day and a beautiful start to next week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Dylan, and thank you for watching and tuning in to OU Nightly. I'm Olivia Dague.
And I'm Dacoda McDowell-Wahpekeche. Tune in weekdays at 4:30 and Friday at 4. Good night.